Soldiers of Azov regiment in Mariupol have painted a gory picture of situation with civilians and troops in Azovstal plant as Russia continued its war on Ukraine. Sviatoslav Palomar, second in command of the Azov regiment in Mariupol, and Ilya Samoilenko, also an Azov regiment lieutenant, spoke with journalists via Zoom on Sunday from the Azovstal plant. The soldiers in the press interview is captured and translated by the editor-in-chief of Zaborona Media, Katerina Sergatskova, said they have the option to surrender, but they would not surrender to the enemy. The soldiers' press interview is coming a day ahead. Today, Monday, May 9, 2022, Russia is to celebrate their victory from Nazi Russia. President Vladimir Putin had in his Victory Day message said, "Today, our soldiers, as their ancestors, are fighting side by side to liberate their native land from the Nazi filth with the confidence that, as in 1945, victory will be ours." The commanders of Azov regiment who resists Russia in Azovstal plant in Mariupol said during the press conference that about 25,000 civilians have been killed in the city by Russia troops. The words of the commanders, as translated by Zaborona Media editor, reads, "Civilians were evacuated in 3 days recently. We do not know if everyone was evacuated. From politicians we hear that it was success. But during the evacuation 2 servicemen were killed and 6 injured. This is the price of the evacuation of civilians." On the territory of the Azovstal plant there are many civilian and military casualties, and tens of thousands of citizens died as a result of Russia's actions during 2.5 months. They didn't have a chance to be evacuated timely. We have been asking for the evacuation of civilians for 2.5 months, and only now we have managed to evacuate several hundred. It is joy through tears. No one expected us to stand for so long. Our government failed to save Mariupol. We are called heroes, and we should not flaunt it, because we do our job. The heroes are next to me. Many people gave their lives for the city, for the state, and for the citizens of Ukraine. We could retreat from Mariupol, because we saw what a dangerous situation. But we decided to stay here, and we had an order to defend Mariupol. Many government officials have been sabotaging Ukraine's defense for 8 years. Everyone interfered. We knew that a great war with Russia was coming, and we were preparing. We didn't get javelins or coaches, we collected everything ourselves: information, ammunition. We, Azov, were called a paramilitary group and radicals by the West, as well as through propaganda. Where we were radicals is in defending our country. We did great damage to the enemy. We received no help, no artillery or aircraft. We were left alone, and we were alone for 8 years. We know our past. We have been volunteers since 2014, there were many different people. But we decided to leave our past behind and become professional military. We wanted to create a new modern Ukrainian army, and trained as it should, at the highest level. We are located 100 kilometers from the main Ukrainian positions. It is a shame to run away from here. Another option is to lay down your arms and surrender. The last option is to stand and fight. We knew that the Azov regiment had no high chance of survival. We cannot surrender and give up to the enemy. Because every POW is a resource for exchange to increase the level of political negotiations. They take away attention from another, it is a scattering of attention. Moreover, not so long ago in April, Russian propaganda showed that they had captured Azov soldier. He had a large tattoo on his shoulder. They showed that he was alive, and a few days later sent a message to his mother that he had been strangled to death. They always do. Russians are not interested in our lives. At the time, we had a lot of Russian POWs, and they are in the exchange fund, they are alive. We keep the agreements, the Russians do not. We are fighting for a free world here. If #Russia will crash #Ukraine, and #Mariupol is the main location in this war, they will go further, to Poland, to the Baltic countries. We will fight till the best resolution of the situation. Azov fighters have killed 2,500 Russian personnel and 5,000 were injured in Mariupol from 24 February till 15 April. Lieutenant Ilya Samoilenko. It's a very big number since Russia has lost more than 25,000 soldiers during 74 days of the war on the whole Ukrainian territory. What can one do to help #Mariupol defenders? Not so much options left. But you may spread a word about the horrible situation and ask your government to help #Ukraine immediately. Defenders can be evacuated to UA-controlled territory or to third party. Our soldiers are dying slowly because of the injuries and because they don't have an opportunity to recover. They have to be evacuated. Ilya Samoilenko, Lieutenant, #Azov Regiment. The last thing I want to say is, if you are a good person, you should try to do something when you see such situation, and not ignore. The wife of Denis Prokopenko, one of Azov commanders, Katerina, says that UA officials haven't spoken to her about the situation in #Mariupol. She asks international communities to put their efforts to save the defenders and evacuate them to a safe place in UA or a third party. Our husbands are heroes, but we don't need a heroism at any cost. We need them to stay alive. Ukraine should not lose its defenders, Katerina Prokopenko says.